You're listening to the Weekend Sport Podcast with Jason Pine from News Talk ZB.
And it's off to the land of the Gaul we go. James McOnie joins us now from NZR Plus as we look back and we look forward. James, you're up late, mate. How are you?
I'm okay, thanks, Das. I've had quite a weekend, really, as the second caller behind Elliott Smith, who is a total pro, and what a voice he has, Elliott. And I was just chipping in on the side there, and tonight there was drama.
Well, it was drama, but it wasn't exactly the most engaging game of football, was it? Unless you were English or South African. She was a bit meh.
Look, it's wet weather rugby, and I know New Zealand would have passed the ball a lot more than both of those teams, but the conditions weren't great, and that's exactly what you get. And it's one of those things about rugby union. It's the kicking game really comes under the microscope as soon as it starts to rain like that, and you've got two teams who are a bit risk averse. But what worries me is that Ben O'Keefe, who was getting jeered from the start before the game by all the French fans because of the way he reffed the quarterfinal between France and South Africa, now he's getting it from the English fans because he warned Vincent Koch to push straight. He wanted Koch to push straight. I'll just leave it there. But what he did is every replay shows him on the angle, and that isn't a great way to finish a game. And that was the decisive penalty that Handré Pollard nailed.
He did, and wonderful to see him be called in late and actually do the deed, because South Africa couldn't kick a goal for love nor money earlier on the piece.
Yeah, look, Pollard coming on in the 32nd minute, I feel sorry for Mani Labok. I think it's just one of those things where Rasi wanted his big guns out there a bit earlier, and he just made the call like he did with his traffic lights, Squid Game lights on the sideline there, and just said, no, I need him. And then de Klerk came on early, Willie LaRue came on. I mean, these are guys who are World Cup winners. Vincent Koch came on. This is a team that has got serious depth, and really we've got the final that everybody, or the neutrals, definitely wanted, because it's epic.
So what about the French, though? Because they're mostly going to be there in the stands. Who do they want to win? Who are they going to support? I've got a funny feeling I know what you're going to say, right?
Yeah, honestly, the All Blacks have got so much currency here. France just adore the All Blacks, really. There's something about it. I think that even our recent history, barring that 8-7 result, which they're still a bit salty about, and I'm talking about the 2011 final there with Stephen Donald, with Beaver being the hero, they've got enough victories over us that we're the worthy opponent that they love, but also love to hate on occasions. But there's just so much respect. I think France will go for the All Blacks. It actually will help, because there are so many South Africans here. It's crazy how many have turned up.
The regular correspondent James McOnie joining the program. We've been discussing it, the first hour of the show anyway. Who do you want to whistle this, mate? You going for a Barnes? You going for a Gardner? Or do you think the French will have their wicked way because it's their tournament and Reynal will get it?
Yeah, Reynal's got a shot. I'm happy with any of those three is fine. Really, Barnes, he'll be okay. To me, he's one of those guys who he is a good ref now, but he still makes a few curious calls. And I guess O'Keefe's a bit the same. I think Ben O'Keefe's a really good referee, but just at the end of the game, he just makes a couple of calls that seem a bit perplexing. So Gardner would be my choice. The one thing I reckon, Das, and I'm sure your listeners have been talking about the way these teams match up, is that it's so tight. Like, I cannot say, is there an advantage to the All Blacks, and if so, where? I mean, normally you'd say it's our depth in the second row, but if you look at Mostert, Etzebeth, and now RG Snyman scoring that try, the 2-metre .06 behemoth, it's crazy that Lucy's, where do we have the edge? I reckon it's probably the fact that Aaron Smith and Richie Mo'unga with Geordie Barrett, those three have now formed a combination that seem rock solid.
What about trajectory? it looks like the All Blacks are on their way up. The Springboks faltered slightly, but they will definitely pick it up next week. So based on that dreaded concept momentum, it's got to be us, right? Surely.
Well, you'd hope so, but then what do you do with the props? Because it was Vincent Koch and Nietzsche who came on, not the philosopher, but he's the other prop, the reserve prop, and they did a job on England. And now I'm wondering, we've got very young props. I think we've got they range from 22 to 27, which is the pups. So that's maybe one area where Fozzie might get a little bit of insurance, I guess, by having Nepal Alala or Fatunga Fassi come in, but it'll be hard to see him change the squad at all. And the one thing I think that you look at the way the All Black backline got, I guess, a chance to express themselves against Argentina. They're starting to click. Will Jordan could be a hero for life, couldn't he, if he carries on that form that he just showed. And Mark Talia, almost getting as many yards running backwards as he was running forwards, is just made of Teflon or Vaseline or something, he told me it was Nivea cream, but anyway, he's a very slippery man.
I think he's a shapeshifter, mate. He just disappears and then appears on the other side of the tackle.
Yeah.
James McOnie, has anything else in sport been ruffling your feathers or not? It's just all been rugby, hasn't it?
I've been consumed by rugby, but I know that as of Wednesday, that this country is going to be swept by Wemby fever. I'm talking about Victor Wembanyama, the big 7 foot something. What is he? 7'4" Frenchman who's about to play for the San Antonio Spurs in the NBA. He's going to be almost as big a deal as Kylian Mbappe. I mean, here it's football first, second, third, fourth, and fifth. Then rugby, of course, is they're proud of their team, the Les Bleus, but Victor Wembanyama is about to change everything in France and also for basketball as well. Look out for him. He is a freak.
For more from Weekend Sport with Jason Pine, listen live to News Talk ZB weekends from midday or follow the podcast on iHeartRadio.